Hi there, friends. It's our pleasure to have you on board for this informative weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry.
Practicing good oral health is essential in maintaining fresh breath and a healthy smile. Always remember to brush twice daily for 2 minutes with fluoride toothpaste to strengthen tooth enamel and help fight gum disease. Always brush in a circular motion using a soft toothbrush. Floss once daily to remove food particles between the teeth and the gum line. Use a mouthwash to clean areas of the mouth a toothbrush or floss can't reach. Change your toothbrush every 3 to 4 months. Visit your dentist every 6 months for checkups and cleaning. And be sure to drink water to keep gum disease, plaque, and cavities at bay. Remember, good oral health is key to a healthy mouth.
When children do things that run afoul of the law, it is often a reflection of their experiences and environment. And rather than focusing on punishment, many suggest the appropriate approach is to seek to reform. The government is on board with this mindset, and so the Child Diversion Program has been in operation to deal with youngsters who come in conflict with the law.
Scenario 1. A child is caught desecrating a building. To him or her, it is fun. After all, they are not hurting anyone. Scenario 2. Teenage boy meets girl. They fall in love. They decide to do the do. These scenarios seem somewhat innocent until... In scenario 1, that child is charged with vandalism because the building is the property of someone and it will cost them a lot of money to undo the damage done by said child. In scenario 2, the boy is arrested. As it happens, he is 17 years old and the girl, well, she is 15 years old. What they may not understand is that although they are both teenagers, it is unlawful to have sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16. So now these young people will be jailed. But do they have to be?
Child diversion in the Ministry of Justice is just our way of diverting children who are considered to be troubled, wayward, or children who just come into contact with the justice system, because not every child that comes into contact with the system is a troubled child. So we offer them rehabilitation and an opportunity to get a second chance.
So how do we get to this stage? Consider the scenarios earlier. Those children are now in the custody of the court. In a traditional judicial system, when found guilty, these persons would find themselves behind bars. However, the Ministry of Justice has reconsidered the fate of such individuals and is offering a better solution. But first, the individuals must accept responsibility. Then, they and their victims, along with the court, must agree to the terms of treatment, that is, child diversion. So, if your child is between the ages of 12 and 17, they are eligible. The program, which began in 2020, is guided by the Child Diversion Act, which was passed in 2018, and is supported by other acts such as the Child Care and Protection Act, which speaks to the best interests of children. Some offenses under Schedule 1 of the Child Diversion Act are simple larceny, malicious destruction of property, and having sexual intercourse with a person under 16. However, judges have autonomy to send cases or offenses to the Child Diversion Program at their discretion. Yes, there is hope for our young people who find themselves on the wrong side of the law. But what does that second chance look like?
It will look different for every child. So what happens once they're referred to us, we have offices across the island, so we have 14 offices. They're sent to one of our offices in the parishes, and the child diversion officer in the parish will do an intake assessment, and we ask the child a lot of questions. We also ask the parents questions to get an understanding of what this child is all about and what home life is like, what school is like, and so on. Once we're able to do that, we then craft what we call a treatment program for that child, an individualized program for the child.
After a treatment plan is drafted, it will need the approval of the Child Diversion Committee. Once approval is given, treatment will commence.
A child might be referred to the program for simple larceny. But when they come to us, we realize that they're using drugs, their educational level is not where it should be. The intervention that is provided will be geared towards not only the simple larceny, but also the other interventions that that child might need. So we might have to refer them to, let's say, the National Council on Drug Abuse, so they might be able to get drug abuse treatment and counseling.
And what about that boy in scenario 2? What hope is there for him?
These children come to us. They might be A students in school. They might be actively participating in sports, other activities, but they're, for whatever reason, they decided to try and they were caught having sexual intercourse. They referred to us. For a child like that, that comes to the child diversion program, the aim of the program is not to punish them, but is to ensure that they get the adequate information about the actions that they're taking, how it can affect them, how it can affect others. So it's not a case where, oh, because they're caught committing this offense, that their life should be over. So child diversion basically provides them an opportunity to, you know, when you were in basic school and you had that eraser, or primary school, to just erase that mistake and rewrite it in a more positive way. I just want parents or guardians to know that child diversion, the program itself, is here to help our young people develop. And it's here to help them develop in a positive way. So don't consider it punishment, or even if it is, it's not one that is so final that this child cannot go into adulthood without leaving that simple mistake that they made as a child behind.
I encourage the deaf children to have deaf pride, to know that they can. You are on the same level as a hearing person. It doesn't matter that you can't hear. You have a lot of deaf adults who are successful, and you can achieve. You can get the education that you want, you can do anything that you want, you can achieve. Don't feel like you can't because you're deaf.
In believing that nothing is impossible, I have been able to culture a very positive attitude to life, and that positive attitude has worked for me, and I am confident it will work for others. I would want to say to persons with vision impairment and disabilities that it is critical that they become tooled or retooled with the appropriate technologies that can help to drive the way forward so that they can accomplish their vision and their goals.
Children with disabilities, whether you have CP or not, I strongly believe that you have a purpose. My disability has taught me that when it says the sky is the limit, it is. There are times when you're going to fall, but what is to stop you from rising?
A peaceful, productive, and prosperous Jamaica is predicated upon the quality of our education system. The government is currently implementing the recommendations of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, the JETC, recognizing that this will be a multi-year, wide-ranging transformation exercise which should enable the success of every learner. The provision of greater access to suitable public beach facilities to all Jamaicans remains a priority. 8 beaches are at various stages of the design and approval under the ongoing National Beach Development Program. Among those beaches proposed for enhancement in 2024-25 are Prairie Bathing and Fishing Beach in St. Anne and Padgy Beach in St. Mary. The government is investing $2.6 billion in key irrigation projects that are expected to result in over 2,433 hectares of additional irrigated lands for production. During the financial year 2024-2025, the key legislative priority will be the amendments to the Companies Act. The draft bill is being finalized. The amendments are expected to strengthen the efficiency and operation of companies in Jamaica to create an enabling environment for business. Efforts to secure private sector interest in renewable energy generation took a significant step forward, with the generation production entity inviting tenders for the supply of up to 100 megawatts of electricity generation capacity for the national grid. Another request for proposal for a further 168 megawatts will be launched later in 2024-2025 financial year. Increased focus will be placed on improved quality of service by telecommunication operators. The Telecommunications Quality of Service Standards rules, which establish the formal framework for the parameters and targets against which operators' performance is measured, will be published. In the new financial year, the Public Passenger Transport Stakeholder Committee will begin to address the provision of transportation for students. A rural student transportation system will be introduced that will provide a more affordable alternative for the students in rural Jamaica who do not now benefit from the transportation subsidies that is available in the KMTR through the JUTC. In June 2024, the government will host the 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, the first fully in-person staging of the conference since the pandemic. The Sexual Harassment Tribunal will be operationalized during the financial year 2024-2025 to address sexual harassment complaints. Also, the third National Center will be renovated to support victims of gender-based violence. The government is also investing in the Jamaica Fire Brigade. 2 ladder units will be procured to fight fires in high-rise buildings. A new fire station will be constructed at Ulster Spring in Trelawney. The Jamaica Fire Brigade will also engage 2 batches of recruits for training, totaling 220 new firefighters. The Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, is the most critical arm of the government's social protection program, and we are moving to make it more accessible and responsive. In that regard, stakeholder engagement has commenced as the first step in the overhaul of the program. In conclusion, honorable members, as we reflect on the progress made in fiscal year 2023-2024 and look ahead to the plans for fiscal year 2024-2025, it is evident that our national vision of economic independence is not just a distant dream, but now well within our reach.
following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Your government is empowering you through education, training, and development. That is why we have removed all fees for every Jamaican accessing training through the Heart NSTA Trust. So, whatever you desire training in, food and hospitality, beauty and cosmetology, housekeeping and hotel management, welding, carpentry, masonry, or any of the dozens of programs Heart offers, you can enroll completely free and change your life. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
In our HealthWise segment today, we are building awareness of how oral health impacts our overall well-being.
Dental health is really important because the mouth is the entry point of nutrition in our bodies. And if it is not functioning properly, then we run the risk of not getting the correct nutrition. Actually, we refer more so to oral health these days than dental health. If we have bad teeth that impair our ability to chew properly, then we will tend to keep away from certain food groups that could be challenging to chew. People with bad oral hygiene, people who use and eat and drink a lot of sweets, you can have decay, and you can also have, along with it, periodontal gum disease. You know, the big one that jump out at me is periodontal disease, gum disease. That is when the gum begin to be bleedy, sore, puffy, and just generally uncomfortable. It carries some social consequences, bad breath, and you tend to lose self-confidence. It's so important to have a consultation with your dental personnel, whether the dental surgeon or the hygienist, who would be able to diagnose the needed treatment for such a condition. All sugars are bad, but everything is in moderation. The Jamaica Dental Association endorsed the efforts of the government in reducing the levels of sugar in the bottled beverages. The aim is to get it to 2.5 milligrams in 100 mils by the year 2023. It would be roughly 2.5 teaspoonful. The current level that the government has aimed for, and it was introduced at the end of January, is 5 milligrams per 100 mils. So that is coming from 6.5, so it's a gradual reduction. And the taste will be not so significantly different. As a dentist, I recommend the soft, but I'm aware that a lot of patients tend towards the harder ones. It does some damage by cutting a little line at the neck of the teeth, just where the teeth meet the gum line. So we recommend the soft toothbrush. It's really important to begin by putting the brush on the gum. A lot of people avoid the gum because they tend to think that it makes the gum bleedy. It's the exact opposite. It is as a result of not brushing the gum why there is some amount of bleediness. And you should brush in the direction of growth. The top ones, you brush them down in a circular motion, and the bottom ones, you brush them up, covering all surfaces. Don't forget your tongue and, as I said before, the gum itself. Flossing is very, very important. If you try to imagine that the toothbrush does not get between the teeth, the only thing that can remove the material that will accumulate between the teeth would be the dental floss. The technique is also important. Hold it short, get it past that little tight area, and gently bring it down into the gum, that little crevice of the gum. and remove material that might have accumulated there. And we recommend 6 monthly checkup. If you tend to be prone to decays, we would really like to see you every 6 months. If you have been checked and you are pretty much okay, a yearly visit would be adequate. Extraction really is the last resort. With regular examination, we can pick up using x-rays and visual examination early decays, and these can be effectively dealt with by regular fillings. If it has gone too far and it is now in the nerve, there are other procedures called root canals that can be done, and sometimes we need to cover the entire tooth with a crown to bring it back to usefulness. If your teeth are malaligned, just not aesthetically pleasing, or are causing some kind of effect on your body, then they should be straightened. Orthodontic treatment or braces simply mean moving the teeth through bone to put them in a more harmoniously pleasing position. It's important because you are moving teeth through bone, and the harmony between the joint, the soft tissues, and the teeth must be respected. Not respecting it can result in pain in the joint, headaches, and just a general sense of discomfort in your mouth. It's important to visit your dentist regularly and without fear, because with new technology, and we now have many new dentists in our system, where it's not difficult to get an appointment to see a dentist on a regular basis. There's always a needle, but outside of that, there's absolutely no pain.
Come, let me take you down to the past.
Alright, first I go so. Alright, need some leaf put in that wax now. I don't know about Uni, you know, but this is my favorite childhood game.
In these few minutes remaining inside the magazine, let's look at a transformative partnership between the Ministry of Education and Youth and UNESCO. They are cooperating to make textbooks digitally available to Jamaican students.
With just a touch,
with just a swipe, our youth are now able to learn on any device.
With the help of UNICEF's Technical Working Group and the Ministry of Education and Youth Special Education Unit, our young people now have access to digital textbooks. The Universal Design for Learning (UDL) methodology, which is central to accessible digital textbooks (ADT), has allowed for the venture to take root. The first 2 fully accessible books were released in late September 2022 to allow for greater inclusion of students with disabilities. Now this time around, all students will have access to high-quality, interactive digital textbooks in a variety of languages, including Jamaican Sign Language.
We are very happy to see technology transforming education, particularly in areas where children did not have the accessibility. The integration of technology into education is the next frontier. There is a fear that somehow technology, with all its advancements in artificially developing intelligence, could replace or minimize the role of the teacher. That is absolutely not the case when it comes to education. It means that the teacher now has a more powerful tool with which they can exercise their duties. And of course, you know, it introduces new challenges into the classroom, right? But it also introduces greater opportunities for engagement.
My name is Ari Jones and I am from Danny Williams School for the Deaf.
Ari and others have access to 2 books that were transformed into ADT format for the Jamaican pilot using UDL principles My Brain is My Boss and Harriet Hen and the Hawk. Little Harry is using the My Brain is My Boss ADT book to help him grasp the relationship between the brain and the body.
In this effort, we are working to make sure that no one is left behind, and the population that is in our most concern is the disability population. As you know, we have a lot of barriers in the country for this population to enter to the education system yet. But I want to have the opportunity to congratulate the government for the recent passed Disability Act, which paved the way for this population to really have their rights granted in the country.
The Disabilities Act came into effect on February 14, 2022. This followed its approval in 2014 and the affirmation of the Disabilities Regulations in 2021.
Jamaicans not tolerate corruption. Me I tell you no put up with corruption. So let's join hands across the nation and help improve the way we function. We have to give hope to them youth. Corruption blocks growth for the future. So if we not practice doing the right thing every time, then we are the loser. So make we just get up, stand up and all unite to join the fight to make it right. No corruption makes the future bright. No corruption will help prevent crime.
A message from the Integrity Commission.
This is where we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be here on this station tomorrow for more information you can use to transform your life. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Remember, till next time, live good and walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.